Markets are ripping today, catching everybody off guard. Let's take a look at what is going on. The market started out this morning after the CPI print down a little bit, about almost 2%. And now they're up almost 3%, 2% on the NASDAQ, 2.3 on the S&P, 2.6 on the Dow. And big moves today. One of the reasons is algorithmic formulas. The algos were trading before market participants were at their offices on the if this then that scenario. So with the inflation print coming in hotter than expected, the algos were set to go ahead and start selling. Then when everybody gets to the office, they realize, hey, wait a minute, the inflation wasn't that bad. It was up a little bit, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't extreme. And markets are continuing to climb. We'll see how they close. We have a couple hours to go, 3 hours, 3.5 hours left till close, or 3 hours left till close. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But anyways, the algo formulas were set to sell on a hot inflation print. And then when everybody gets to the office, they realize it's not that bad. So they start buying again. And of course, a lot of people were short, and those shorts are getting liquidated. But the Dow is up 800 points now. This article is a little bit behind. And, you know, stocks were rebounding after hitting their lowest levels since 2020. So that's one of the other reasons, is that technical range that was hit and prime for an oversold market bounce. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts and see what's going on. Here's the Dow right here on the daily. Nice little candle there. This is going to get the chart masters all riled up today. Same thing on the NASDAQ, same thing on the S&P. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly and see where we're at now on these weekly moving averages. So the Dow is now back above the 200 week. The NASDAQ is still just below the 200 week. The S&P did find support, bounced right off of it. So those are key critical levels right there. And then let's just take a look at where things stand compared to the pandemic highs and pre-pandemic highs anyways. And the Dow is now back above pre-pandemic highs by about 2%, where it was just below it the other day. The NASDAQ is still well above pre-pandemic highs, S&P well above pre-pandemic highs. So everything was setting up for a nice little bounce. As you can see, that's just kind of how markets continue to work their way down in a bear market. You get these nice violent bear market rallies, although this was a inflation-driven algorithmic trading short covering bounce that we got today. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Interesting thing here. You know, I've been following two trends. One is the 2017 high that the price has been playing with for the last few weeks, and then this major trend line down. And the price has just been kind of creeping its way down this little trend line here, almost perfectly, just kind of banging along that trend line on the way down, but leveling off right here at that 19,000 level. But Bitcoin did get all the way down to 18.1, almost close to testing the 17.7, 17.6 level, the June low, which it has yet to test, but most likely will, especially in November when the Fed does hike. So the assumption right now is the Fed's going to hike another 75 basis points in November, unless something happens between now and then. And that's the other part of the narrative today, where this bounce is coming from. Even Bitcoin, you know, nice little bounce. It had dropped all the way down and has now recovered most of that move. It's about a 5% move for Bitcoin. And the markets have moved, you know, probably 2 or 3% altogether over the day. Well, 5.6% on the NASDAQ. So these are big moves for the markets. These are huge moves for the market. The Dow, 4.7% overall from the bottom, where the market dropped out to where it's back to right now, 5%. So that's a pretty good move for the markets today. Not much of a move for Bitcoin, as Bitcoin, as we know, can move a whole lot. Here's Ethereum hanging on a little bit better than Bitcoin. Avalanche down below those June lows. Solana testing those June lows. Matic still up, and Cardano below June lows now, right back almost to it again. So the markets are on an interesting pivot point right now. So what are we looking out for and what's going on? The other narrative is, again, the Fed pivot with everything that's going on with the Bank of England in the UK. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen coming out yesterday once saying she doesn't see any signs of distress in the market, then comes around and says she's worried about the Treasury market liquidity. So that is sending the Fed pivot narrative, and the buy the dip mentality is back, as well as FOMO. So those are the things that are happening today that I am looking at. I will see you on the next video.